Who is the leading kirtan today, Manjari?
It's Sridhar. So Sridhar can just take it away at 7:30.
Yeah, he's already on. Okay.
Yep, he's ready. Okay, Sridhar, go ahead.
Turn your camera on, please. See there.
Where is everyone today? Sridhar? Oh, there. Come on. Sridhar, where are you?
Hare Krishna, Sridhar, we are not able to hear you.
There you are. Can you start your video too, please?
You are holding us.
What's going on?
Okay, then Gabru, you start. Let him join when he was ready.
Yeah, maybe fix his technical difficulties.
Got it. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Prabhuji, can you be my responder?
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Iti Namine.
Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Pracharini Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Desatarini.
Namaste Saraswati Devim Gauravani Pracharine Nirvasesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Finally is here.
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasadi Go Bhakta Vrinda.
Sridhar, take it away.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama
Sridhar Prabhu, could you be my responder for Esomadinantana? Thank you.
And don't short change, don't stop before 8 o'clock, please.
Hare Krishna,
Either
yeah.
short change, you started late and ended early.
Okay. Yasumati Nandana Prajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana
Yasumati Nandana Vrajabharanagara Gokula Ranjanakana.
Yasumati Nandana Prajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana
Yasumati Nandana Vrajabharanagara Gokula Ranjanakana.
Gopi Paranadana Madana Manogara Kaliya Tamana Vidana Gopi Paran Mata
Manohara Kaliya Damana Vidana.
Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliya Damana Vidana
Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliya Damana Vidana.
Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasa
Amalaharina Amiya Vilasa.
Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasa
Amalaharina Amiya Vilasa.
Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bora Vamsi Vadana Suvasa
Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Vara Vamsi Vadana Suvasa.
Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bora Vamsi Vadana Suvasa
Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Vara Vamsi Vadana Suvasa.
Rajajana Palana Surakula Nasana Nanda Godana Raguvala
Rajajana Palana Sudakula Nasana Nanda Godana Rakhuvala.
Rajajana Palana Surakula Nasana Nanda Godana Raguvala
Rajajana Palana Surakula Nasana Nanda Godana Rakhuvala.
Govindam Madhava Navanida Taskara Sundarananda Gopala
Govinda Madhava Navanidataskara Sundarananda Gopala.
Govindam Madhava Navanida Taskara Sundarananda Gopala
Govinda Madhava Navanidataskara Sundarananda Gopala.
Yamuna Tattachara Gopi Vasanagara Rasarasiha Kripamoya
Yamuna Tattachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasarasika Kripamoya.
Yamuna Tattachara Gopi Vasanagara Rasarasiha Kripamoya.
Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasana Hara Rasarasita Kripamoya.
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natapara Bhakti Vinodashraya.
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Bhakti Vinoda Acharya.
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natapara Bhakti Vinodashraya.
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Bhakti Vinoda Acharya.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Yasomati Nandana Braja Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana.
Yashomati Nandana Braja Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana.
Yasomati Nandana Braja Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana.
Yashomati Nandana Braja Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana.
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natapara Bhakti Vinoda Shraya.
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Bhakti Vinoda Ashraya.
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natapara Bhakti Vinoda Shraya.
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Bhakti Vinoda Ashraya.
Thank you, Sridhar. Lord Krishna is the beloved son of Mother Yasoda, the transcendental lover in the land of Vraja, the delight of Gokul Kana, a nickname of Krishna. The wealth of the life of gopis, he steals the mind of even Cupid and punishes the Kaliya serpent. These pure holy name of Lord Hari are full of sweet nectarian pastime. Krishna is the Lord of 12 forests of Vraja. He is ever youthful and best of lovers. He is always playing on a flute and he is an excellent dresser. Krishna is the protector of inhabitants of Braja, the destroyer of various demonic dynasties, the keeper and tender of Nanda Maharaja's cows, the giver and pleasure to the cow, land, and spiritual senses, the husband of goddesses of fortune, the Bharatif, and the beautiful cowherd boy of Nanda Maharaj. Krishna wandered along the bank of river Yamuna. He stole the garlands of the young damsels of Braja who were bathing there. He delights in the mellow of Rasa dance. He is very merciful, the lover and beloved of Srimati Radharani, the great dancer of Vrindavan, and the shelter and only refuge of Thakur Bhakti Vinod. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you, Sridhar Prabhu, short changer, and Taniga Prabhu. Okay, Maharaj, your screen share is on.
Okay. Nityananda Aham Naumi
Ananda Ham Nami,
Sarvananda Karamparam
Avananda Param Karam,
Avaduta Saromanim
Avadhuta Shiromanim
Something else there. Harinama Pradam Devam.
Harinam Pradam Devam.
Okay, I go to share screen. I click on screen. I share. Haha. See my monkey. My monkey. The great ape. Okay. So then we have this, we recommend everybody. We look today, it's available Amazon.com. Chaitanya Bhagavat, Ras Bihari Lal and Sons, edited by, what's his name? Got his name, okay, Purnananda. Yeah. And then translated by Kushakrata, I think, originally. So maybe he says there may be some mistakes. But here is very, very nice. It says that about Nityananda, we went ahead to his Leela. Okay. On the day of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, Sri Nityananda roared with great jubilation. That sound filled the entire universe, almost depriving everyone of their senses. My God! Some speculated that must be thunder. Others thought that it indicated an impending disaster. Yes, yes. Others said, we know the reason for this sound. Lord Sri Nityananda, the Lord of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, is roaring in ecstasy. As a child, Lord Nityananda concealed his identity and happily played with other children his own age. Their play centered around the pastimes of Lord Krishna. On one such occasion, a child played the role of Mother Earth and submitted her petition. The children went to the shore of the Milk Ocean and offered select prayers to Lord Krishna. In response, a boy hidden from view loudly announced, I shall appear in Gokula, in the district of Mathura. On some evenings, Lord Nityananda and his friends enacted the marriage of Vasudeva and Devaki. Then closing all the windows and doors of the room to simulate a dungeon, they portrayed the birth of Lord Krishna. Thereafter, they carried baby Krishna across the imaginary Jamuna to exchange him with baby Mahamaya in Gokula. Thus they tricked the wicked king Kamsa. Sometimes Nityananda would dress as a boy as Putana, and another boy would climb on her breast to drink milk. One day, helped by his friends, Nityananda built a cart out of sticks and then smashed it. Unseen by anyone, Lord Nityananda would enter the house of neighboring milkmen along with his friends and steal butter. The young boys never wanted to leave Nityananda's association and return home. Day and night, they relished his transcendental associations. The parents of these boys would never scold them. However, they were amazed at how a mere child could know so much about Lord Krishna's pastimes. When Lord Nityananda went with his friends to tend the cows, they would enact so many pastimes. They would make a Kaliya serpent out of sticks and leaves. Nityananda would dress his friends as Dhenukasura, Bakasura, Agasura, Vatsasura, and act out the pastimes of killing these demons. Nityananda portrayed the lifting of Govardhan Hill after recreating a replica of Vrindavan. He portrayed the pastimes of stealing the gopis' garments and meeting with the wives of the brahmanas engaged in performing sacrifice. Playing his horn all the way, Nityananda would return home with the cows and his friends at sunset. Someone dressed as Narada Muni, complete with beard, okay, and met Kamsa in a secluded place. Someone dressed as Narada Muni, complete with beard, and met with Kamsa in a secluded place. A boy dressed as Akrura and escorted Krishna and Balaram from Vrindavan to Mathura at the invitation of cruel Kamsa. Taking the part of a gopi, Nityananda wept bitterly in separation. His tears flowed like a river, so the boys looked on in amazement. Being deluded by Vishnu, Lord Vishnu's Yogamaya, none of the boys could understand the truth about Lord Nityananda. Oblivious to his true identity, they happily played with him. After recreating Mathura in his play, Lord Nityananda roamed about with his friends. Someone dressed as a flower seller, someone else became Kubja. Next, Nityananda made a bow, strung it, broke it. Acting like Krishna, Nityananda killed the mad elephant Kuvalayapida, and the wrestlers, Chanura Mustika. After seeking out the friend dressed as Kamsa, Nityananda pulled him down by the hair, straddled his chest, and mock killed him. This resulted in all the boys dancing in great jubilation, and those who watched greatly appreciated the drama. One day, Lord Nityananda became Vamanadev, making someone else play the part of Bali Maharaj. Someone acting as Sukracharya, wearing old man's clothes, obeyed Bali Maharaj to entertain Lord Vamana's wish for 3 steps of land. Still, Bali Maharaj, what's that? Okay. We're hearing some kirtan there. Still, Bali Maharaj granted Bali Maharaj granted Lord Vamanadev's request. So the Lord blessed him by placing his lotus feet upon his head. One day, Lord Nityananda became Lord Ramachandra and built a bridge across the ocean to Lanka. All the boys dressed as monkeys. And while chanting Jai Raghunath, they felled some castor oil trees and threw them into the water to build a bridge. There's a nice kirtan going on with Rani. Okay. Another time, Lord Nityananda played the part of Lakshman. Taking a bow in his hand, he angrily marched off to meet Sugriva. He said, "You wretched monkey, my lord is in anguish. If you care for your life, then come to meet him right away. Ramachandra awaits you. And here you are, enjoying in the company of women." In the mood of Lakshman, Lord Nityananda enacted the pastime of meeting the 5 monkey chiefs living at Matanga's ashram out of fear of Bali. He also portrayed the killing of Indrajit and the escorting of Vibhishana to Rama. On one such occasion, a boy approached Nitai and saying, "I am Ravana. I will discharge my most powerful Shakti weapon at you. Avert it if you can, O Lakshman." The boy threw a lotus flower and with it struck him. Nitai fell back unconscious. Despite all the boys' attempts, he remained lying motionless. As the Lord lay without a symptom of life, all the boys surrounded him, holding their heads and lamenting. Nitai's mother and father rushed to the spot, and when they saw their son's lifeless body, they fainted. The boys gave all the details of what had happened to the astonished people that crowded around. "Someone," I said, "think that Nityananda is acting. If someone plays the part of Hanuman and brings the proper medicine, he will surely regain consciousness." Before the drama, Nityananda had instructed his friends, "If I should fall to the ground, surround me and weep. Wait a few moments and then call for Sri Hanuman. When he holds the medicine to my nose, my life will be revived." Actually, the Lord fell to the ground unconscious due to being in the mood of Lakshman, and his friends were unable to understand this. The boys became confused and upset when Nityananda fell unconscious, and they forgot his previous instructions. They simply repeated, "Wake up, dear brother," and wept loudly. Only when the man reminded them of Nitai's instructions did they respond. The boy quickly dressed as Hanuman and ran off to gather the herbs. Another boy dressed as an ascetic, but who was actually Ravana's demoniac maternal uncle, met Hanuman on the way and invited him to his ashram to have some fruit. He said, "My dear Hanuman, please remain here and grace my humble abode. I feel very fortunate to have met such an exalted personality." Hanuman said, "My mission is very grave. I must hurry. Lakshman has been wounded by Ravana's Shakti weapon, so I must rush to the Himalayas to get proper herbs." Sage persisted. "If you are in a hurry, at least bathe and eat something before you continue your journey." By the potency of Lord Nityananda, all the boys played their parts so eloquently that the entire crowd was spellbound. At the sage's urging, Hanuman went to bathe in the big lake. A boy dressed as a crocodile suddenly grabbed him by the leg. He started dragging him deeper in the water. However, mighty Hanuman, who was also known as Mahavir, soon dragged the crocodile onto the shore. After a brief fight, Hanuman vanquished the crocodile and proceeded on. Another boy dressed as a demon chased Hanuman while roaring, "You have killed a crocodile, but how will you kill me? I will devour you. Who then will save Lakshman?" Hanuman reported, "Oh, your Ravana is a dog. I despise him. You had better escape with your life while you can." After thus abusing one another, the two adversaries fought hand to hand, tearing at one another's hair. The demon was soon slain. Thereafter, Hanuman entered the region of the Gandharvas, where the medicinal herbs were to be found. Some of the boys dressed as Gandharvas attempted to oppose Hanuman. After defeating his opponents, Hanuman lifted the Gandharva mountain, Gandhamadana, and we carried it back to Lakshman. There, a boy dressed as a physician placed the drugs next to Lakshman's nose. At last, Lord Nityananda got up, much to the relief of his parents and all others present there. Harai Pandit hurriedly went and finally took Nitai on his lap. Everyone was impressed with the drama and inquired from Nityananda, "My dear boy, where did you learn how to play these pastimes?" Okay, it's enough for one day. So that's our contribution to continuing festival of Lord Nityananda's appearance. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, you want to talk something about Narottam Das Thakur too?
We've all heard his biography. He was the son of, I think, of some, like Duke or Count, and very, very good boy. And one time while he was, every day he would come from school and stop in a route for his bath to help one old Brahmin with his cooking, everything, because the fellow was very old and barely could see. And then there'd be time for him to hear about Lord Chaitanya, because this Brahmin had been an associate of Lord Chaitanya. But one day he didn't come home, and the Rani was very worried, so she had told her husband, the Count. They took some people, some soldiers, they went to the Brahmin's house, and he said, no, he left on time. What's happened? Go to the God quickly. So they went there, and it was, getting dark, night. Everybody had gone home. There was one Dobiwala still folding up the last clothes, and somebody else there finishing their very, very final bath. And one crazy boy just kind of, howling. And then the Rani realized, my goodness, this crazy boy is Narottam. So he took him down home and calmed him down and put him in bed. And after some time, he calmed down and he said, I was just bathing with everybody else like normally. And suddenly in the sky, there was this beautiful golden Brahmin boy chanting, Hari, Hari. And I became crazy. So after that, he was mad to go to Vrindavan and see the associates. He kept running away. People were bringing back. The Muslim Zamindar, whatever it was, came to see him. But finally, he escaped and was successful. He took shelter in Vrindavan and, of course, was finally initiated by Lochan Das Thakur. And, of course, then later on became our Acharya.
Loknath Maharaj.
Loknath Maharaj, okay.
Loknath Swami. Hey, Loknath Das, yeah.
Loknath. Okay. And then he became our Acharya. So in Krishna Lila, he's a Manjari, little girl, maybe like 10 years old, 11 years old. And so you can sing his songs in those moods of, Narottam with his external body as a sannyasi, or Narottam in his internal consciousness as a little Manjari. And it's the songs are understandable in both moods. So that's what I saw. Narottam Das Thakur ki jai.
Anyone else want to talk about Narottam Das Thakur and Lord Nityananda before we go to bhajans? Ram Gedari Prabhu, you want to say something about Narottam Das Thakur or Lord Nityananda?
Hare Krishna. Dandavad Maharaj. Dandavad to everyone. Chitragupta was actually having a very interesting scenario in Yamaraj, Yamaloka. So it was said that Chitragupta used to maintain the records of Jagai and Madai. So it was not in one single, page or one single file. He had a huge amount of records of the offenses, sins, abominable activities of Jagai and Madai. It says that they had rooms after rooms of so many files of their abominable activities and in turn punishments for them. So he had a separate department to just maintain the sinful activities of Jagai and Madai. So suddenly, when he was maintaining all of them, in one moment, all of those records got vanished. So Chitragupta got so confused that how come all this records got vanished or got corrupted, or I misplaced it, or how come it's impossible. He couldn't even comprehend. It is like one fine day Google crashes and we all are losing the entire records of our files. So Chitragupta went to Yamaraj almost like shivering and said that, my dear master, there's a problem. So, I'm sorry that I don't know what had happened. It never happened in my life so far. So can you please help me out? I'm concerned. And please forgive me also if I have done a mistake. So Yamaraj was, kind of contemplating and suddenly started jumping. Gauranga, 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 like that, started jumping. So then Chitragupta did not understand what was going on. I thought he's going to, thrash me. He's going to, really be heavy on me. So then after Yamaraj calmed down, he narrated the pastime of what had happened actually in the Kali Yuga, or in the earthly planet. So it is just not explainable by words, or what we say, that what you can't even imagine. It is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's incarnation is amazingly magnanimous, amazingly munificent, amazingly merciful. But then Nityananda Prabhu is such a merciful incarnation. Even those candidates who are rejected by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu gives his mercy to them. So it is explained that Vrindavan Das Thakur is nicely explaining that Nityananda Prabhu goes and picks up those candidates who are completely even unqualified, rejected, and try to somehow encourage them, bless them, give his special blessings, only to say that look at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, how great he is, how great his mercy is. So I was reflecting the other day in the history of Krishna consciousness movement. I could only think of only 3 people who have picked up the most rejected, Gaya Gujra bolte hain na Hindi mein, completely, fallen people, and make them useful. 1, Nityananda Prabhu. Number 2, Lord Shiva. And number 3, Srila Prabhupada. Maybe there are many, but at least I could think of these 3, because those who wouldn't have got any qualification, still they are, sitting and talking and glorifying and appreciating Krishna. That is something, beyond comprehension. So Nityananda Prabhu's mercy is something that we are all definitely need to depend on, without which the entire journey in Krishna consciousness is going to be meaningless. So they say, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Beach. Guru Krishna Prasada can be, blessed upon us at one shot if we get Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, because Nityananda Prabhu is Guru Tattva, as well as Nityananda Prabhu is Krishna's, it's Balaram himself, who is Krishna himself too. So that way, Nityananda Prabhu's mercy is something that you need to yearn for. And one of the easiest way to get Nityananda Prabhu's mercy is just chant the name of Gauranga and have one drop of tear in your eye with love and devotion. Then Ek bar dekh le chakshe jal, Gaura bole nitai den sakala sambal. So Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Hare Krishna.
So this reminds you that Nityananda Prabhu is the same Balram who killed Romharshan with the kusha grass. There's some little, but he did not stand up to honor Lord Balram because he was on Vyas speech. The same Balram is now going and begging Jagai and Madhai to chant Hare Krishna. And not only that, he appeared Mahaprabhu to give them mercy, not only give mercy, give full love of Godhead. So that's what Prabhu was saying. That's what it is. So that's what Lochandas Thakur says. Adhama pati jivera dware dware giya harinama mahamantra vichana vilaya. So he is giving everyone. This is. Anyone else want to add on Lord Nityananda?
The one small point, because you brought this, Romaharshana Sudha, I just want to say that how Balaram killed Dhenukasur. Dhenukasur is an ass demon who represents ignorance. So the reflection here is that when he came as Balaram, he killed Dhenukasur. But when Balaram came as Nitai, he killed the ignorance. Like an ass, like a person who may have been carrying all dirt and all nonsense, all wrong baggage in the heart, when they get Nitai's blessings. So the Dhenukasura within us is killed by Nitai just by dragging us to the Harinam Sankirtan. So he never used the weapon, he only used love and our holy name, and just transformed us. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else? Vishwachandra Prabhu, Tanduga Prabhu. I was hoping that Sugopi and Srinivas Prabhu will be there, but they logged out. Hemlata, at least I can call on those people. And anyone wants to talk about Lord Nityananda? No? Tanduga Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Like I said before, okay, he's the most merciful incarnation which I know on that. Okay, it's a South Indian Sri Vaishnava or the Gaudiya Vaishnava, any incarnation. If I see that, okay, Nityananda Prabhu is the most merciful incarnation. I can go on many different reasons, but the one important thing is that, okay, it's you are bringing that point, and the Romaharshan, okay, he was cutting that. Even Lord Balram was very close to Duryodhan, then the Pandavas and all these things. Okay, all these things. Okay, people are looking for answer. Okay, they won't get it. But when you are looking on the Nityananda's activities, you get that you get a clear vision for all these things. Because when Jagai and Madai was in a mad mood, okay, he was begging on their feet to take the holy name. But at the same time, with Sivananda saying, he was kicking on his chest. But that activity is that, okay, he's begging them or it's a kicking them. Okay, most of both the activities, the objective is that, okay, he moved the soul towards the Krishna. Or here that both activities, the results, if you look into that, they are closer to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's what this Leela. So for me, okay, he's the most magnificent, merciful one. And then again, the same thing, okay, Prabhupada, this expansion of Nityananda Prabhu. There is no doubt about that. Because
It's not expansion, he's his Senapati.
Senapati, but he's the same mood.
He's not. Yeah, he's a devotee of Lord Nityananda.
Yeah.
Prabhupada will never accept that he's a.
Yeah, I sorry, that's the thing. Okay, this is the servicing mood is a Nityananda Prabhu mood. Okay, that's what even if he says anybody is not qualified, Prabhupada's answer is that No, you didn't understand the mood of Nityananda Prabhu. That's what he said.
Okay. Anybody else? Vishwachandra Prabhu or Hemlata or Abhayji, anybody wants to chime in, please?
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
yeah.
Prabhu, Nityananda Prabhu's wife was Jahanva Devi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was also very exalted. She, after the disappearance of Mahaprabhu and associates, there was a lot of, apasampradayas coming up in all over India. And so we couldn't really detect who is genuine, who is not. And then when Narottama Das Thakur arranged the first Gaura Purnima festival in Keturi Gram, that's when Janma Devi came. And there were so many different philosophies within our Gauriya Vaishnavas. And she reconciled all of them and brought them back on track. And not to mention, after the Keturi festival, even when Srila Narottama Das Thakur did his kirtan, then everybody came back. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, all the associates of, and it was such a beautiful reunion of all the devotees in Keturi. That pastime is very, very dear to my heart. I just wanted to share. Anyway, it was Srila Narottama Das Thakur. Oh, it is today Srila Narottama Das Thakur's appearance day here in India. So I was remembering that. So thank you for reminding me, Prabhuji.
Narottama, the Janva Mata's appearance day was yesterday too, that I just learned an hour before the program. Janva Mata has a very important role playing in Narottama Das Thakur's life too. She was like a spiritual guide. As you said, when the kirtan was going on, Panchatattva came back and everybody could see that they were dancing in the Mahakirtan first Gaur Purnima celebration organized by Narottama Das Thakur under the guidance of Janva Mata.
Yes, Prabhuji. Correct.
Lord Chaitanya had predicted that he is if I paraphrase, it will not be so nice. If you have 2-3 minutes, I can read it. How he predicted. Suddenly, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped dancing, standing motionless. He stared intently into the distance, and fervently called Narottam, Narottam. His body trembled, and tears poured from his eyes with uncontrollable force. Overwhelmed with ecstatic love, he grabbed onto Nityananda Prabhu for support, but then collapsed to the ground and rolled in the dust, crying again and again, Narottam, Narottam. Bewildered by Lord's sudden outburst, devotees stopped singing, glancing at each other with uncertainty. They gathered around the Lord and softly sang the holy name, waiting for a static trance to abate. Kneeling, Nityananda Prabhu whispered sweet, pacifying words in the Lord's ear. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, however, simply threw the arms around Nityananda Prabhu's neck and continued to cry. Worried, Nityananda Prabhu turned to Vakeshwar and Haridas. I have never seen him shed such profuse tears. Hoping to revive the Lord, Vakreshwar led the devotees in loudly chanting the name of Lord Jagannath. Hearing this, the Lord regained his composure. Sitting up, he wiped the tears from his eyes and motioned to Nityananda Prabhu to come close. Nitai, he whispered, you know that Sankirtan is everything to me. It is my very life. I want everyone in this world to taste the nectar of the holy name. But soon you and I will leave this world. Who will spread this chanting after we are gone? Who will keep the flame of love I have brought into the world burning? Before I leave, I must empower someone to carry on this wonderful Sankirtan movement. I have such a wealth of love of God, and I must leave it with someone. But who is qualified to inherit such riches? My Lord Nityananda said softly, you know that everything, only you can answer that question. Is there anyone capable of carrying on your mission? Who is worthy of inheriting your love? Said I, there is someone. His name is Narottam. Narottam, Nityananda. Prabhu asked, who is Narottam? Just a few minutes ago, you were calling the name and crying. So I feared for your life. But I don't know of anyone named Narottam among your associates. Narottam has not yet appeared in this world, the Lord replied, but soon he will take birth nearby on the other side of the Padmavati river in the town of Kheturi. Narottam will be such a wonderful devotee that every word coming from his mouth will be filled with love of God, and anyone who sings his praises will certainly attain love of God. If I leave my love with him, it's certain that nectarian ocean of Sankirtan will continue to flood the universe. Puzzled, Nityanand inquired, but if Narottam has not yet been born, how will you give him your love? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled. Tomorrow I will enter the Padmavati river and deposit my love for Narottam to receive in the future. At the appropriate time, you must guide Narottam to the river bank to collect the divine treasure that awaits him. The Lord then stood and resumed his chanting. That evening, the devotees spoke among themselves in hushed voice. Who is Narottam? The Lord called for. No one except Nityanand Prabhu could answer, but he remained silent. Following morning, his Kirtan party moved slowly along the sandy footpath, chanting and dancing as they sang holy names. As they reached a clearing in the trees, deep blue of Padmavati river came into view. At the river bank, Nityananda Prabhu turned to devotees and stopped the Kirtan. Watch carefully. He said, something extraordinary is about to take place. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to place his divine love into the Padmavati river sometime in the future. This love will be given to a devotee named Narottam. Devotees watched cautiously, now curiously, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stepped with his lotus feet into the water and slowly waded toward the river center. To their amazement, the placed river swelled with joy. The placid river swelled with joy. Transformed by the Lord's touch, the water appeared to dance in glee, swirling and gurgling as it rose higher and higher. Within a moment, the river overflowed with ecstasy, spilling over its bank and gushing onto the land. All at once, an extraordinary, beautiful woman rose from the waves. She stood before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with folded palms. Her silken garments shimmered in the breeze, and her jewel crown sparkled in the morning sunlight. She asked humbly, my lord, how can I serve you? O goddess of the river, Padmavati Devi, Mahaprabhu said, I want to leave my transcendental property in your care. Please take my love and keep in with you until a devotee named Narottam bathes here. At that time, deliver this love to him. Yes, my lord, she replied submissively. But how will I recognize Narottam? When a young when dark complexioned boy who is filled with love for God enter your waters, causing them to surge and flood the land as they did today, you will know that is Narottam. But my lord, she asked, if this boy has so much devotion that his touch will cause me to overflow with ecstasy, even before he has received your divine treasure, what will his condition be after receiving your love? Don't worry, the Lord interrupted. Narottam will sustain my love when he comes. Simply give my love to him. Curing with joy, Padmavati Devi received Mahaprabhu's love, offered her obeisances, and disappeared into the receding waters. Devotees who observed this exchange stood transfixed, mouths agape and eyes wide with astonishment. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu turned to them and said calmly, began Kirtan. So that is why we sing the prarthana prayers. How deep they are, although in simple Bengali, but wonderful. So anyone else want to share something about Nityanand or Narottam Das? Charan Prabhu, no, not in mood to share any any nectar today. Vaiji, okay.
We can talk about the Dai Chura festival, Panihari festival. We didn't talk about that yet. Where the Nityananda Prabhu once arrived in Panihari, where Raghunath Das was staying, and he personally gave blessing to Raghunath Das by putting his foot on his head and told him he was a thief and he needed to supply. It was very hot at that time in Panihati, which is like north of Calcutta. Like this, the Panihati is actually situated in the river Ganges, and it was like 45 degrees or something. It was very hot, so they want to cool themselves. So he had a big party. Nityananda Prabhu had a lot of people with him, so he asked Raghunath Thakur to feed everyone. So the Dai Chura festival took place, and in that festival, Nityananda Prabhu also invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they had darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as well. So Raghunath Das got a lot of blessing from Nityananda Prabhu, and that he would actually go meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and after that, Raghunath Das left his home, and then we went to Jagannath Puri to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the festival is celebrated every year still.
Now in Atlanta too.
Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe this will resume this year. I don't know. COVID. Okay. Anyone else? No. Okay, then we can move on to our bhajan part. Ram Gazari Prabhu, you want to start, or Krishna Prabhu?
I can, no problem.
Okay. Which one you are with song? You are with bhajan you are singing?
Nitai Gunamani Amar.
Somebody can put it on the screen. Share the screen. It is on KK Songs. Any technical people who can do that?
Only Manjari who has got access. She's the host, or Abhishek who's holding that.
No, Abhishek is not here. Manjari, can you do that?
I already sent it in the link,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you already sent in the link. Okay, look at your phone then, please. Okay, Prabhu.
Okay. Nitai Gunamani Amar. Nitai Gunamani. Nitai Gunamani Amar. Nitai Gunamani. Aniya Premere Vanya. Bhashailo Vani. Aniya Premere Vanya. Bhashailo Vani. Premer Vanya Loya Nitai. Aila Gauda Deshe. Dhubila Bhakta Ganam. Dinahina Bhase. Dinahina Patita Pamarnahi Bhaje. Brahmara Durlabha Prem Sabha Karajache. Abhada Karuna Sindhu Nitai Katiya Moha. Gare gare bhule prem, ami arban. Lochan bole more nitai, jebana bajilo. Janiya suniya se, atmagati hoilo. Jayanitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. My Lord Nityananda, the jewel of all virtues, my Lord Nityananda, the jewel of all virtues, has brought the flood of ecstatic love of God that has drowned the entire world. Bringing this overwhelming deluge of prema when he returned to Bengal from Jagannath Puri on Lord Chaitanya's order, Lord Nitai has inundated the assembly of devotees. The fallen non-devotees did not drown, however, but they remained floating on that ecstatic ocean. Lord Nityananda freely offered this exalted prema, which is difficult for Brahma to attain, even to the fallen and wretched souls who did not desire it. The ocean of mercy had formerly been sealed tight, but Nityananda cut a channel in its boundary to allow the great flooding waves of nectarian prema to splash from house to house. Lochana Dasa says, whoever has not worshipped my Nitai or taken advantage of this excellent opportunity offered by him knowingly commits suicide. Hare Krishna.
It's a very strong word, Lochandas Thakur says. Chaniya suniya say atmaghati hoilo. So please, that's strong. So Radha Vallabh Prabhu has some invitation for prasadam, so he is not here. So Vishnu Charan Prabhu, you want to sing Krodha Paramananda, Nityananda Ram?
That's it. I didn't prepare for that one. I don't know anything about that one.
Okay, I thought, okay, you have sent it yesterday. I thought you had
Which
prepared
one?
for it.
No, which one?
Krodha Paramananda, Nityananda Rai. You can do the other one we talked about.
Yeah, I didn't send the Akropawanand. I don't.
You did not? Okay. Okay, so whatever, what are you ready for? Nitai Godurma Nityananda Mahajan.
Yeah, it's fine. Nadia Godurma Nityananda Mahajan, right? Nadia Godrume Nityananda Mahajan. Nadia Godrume Nityananda Mahajan. Nadia Godrume Nityananda Mahajan. Nadia Godrume Nityananda Mahajan. Pachi ache naam hatta jivera karan. Pati ache naam hatta jivera karan. Pati ache naam hatta jivera karan. Pati ache naam hatta jivera karan. Nadia Godrume Nityananda Mahajan. Nadia Godrume Nityananda Mahajan. Shatavan jan hai श्रद्धावान जान है, 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 प्रभु आज्ञा भाई मांगी है भिक्षा, प्रभु आज्ञा भाई मांगी है भिक्षा, प्रभु आज्ञा भाई मांगी है भिक्षा, प्रभु आज्ञा भाई मांगी है भिक्षा। बोलो कृष्ण भजो कृष्ण करो कृष्ण शिक्षा, बोलो कृष्ण भजो कृष्ण करो कृष्ण शिक्षा, बोलो कृष्ण भजो कृष्ण 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 शिक्षा, बोलो कृष्ण भजो कृष्ण करो कृष्ण शिक्षा। नादिया गुरु में नित्यानंद महाजन, नादिया गुरु में नित्यानंद महाजन, श्रद्धावान जान है, श्रद्धावान जान है, श्रद्धावान जान है, श्रद्धावान जान है, अपराध शून्य है हरे कृष्ण नाम, अपराध शून्य है हरे कृष्ण नाम, अपराध शून्य है हरे कृष्ण नाम, अपराध शून्य है हरे कृष्ण नाम। कृष्ण माता कृष्ण पिता कृष्ण धन प्राण, कृष्ण माता कृष्ण पिता कृष्ण धन प्राण, कृष्ण माता कृष्ण पिता कृष्ण धन प्राण, कृष्ण माता कृष्ण पिता कृष्ण धन प्राण। नादिया गुरु में नित्यानंद महाजन, नादिया गुरु में नित्यानंद महाजन, श्रद्धावान जन है, श्रद्धावान जन है, श्रद्धावान जन है, श्रद्धावान जन है, कृष्ण संसार करी चढ़े अनाचार, कृष्ण संसार कर चढ़े अनाचार, कृष्ण संसार कर चढ़े अनाचार, कृष्ण संसार कारी छाड़ी अनाचार। जीवे दया कृष्ण नाम सर्वधर्म सार, जीवे दया कृष्ण नाम सर्वधर्म सार, जीवे दया कृष्ण नाम सर्वधर्म सार, जीवे दया कृष्ण नाम सर्वधर्म सार। नादिया गुरु में नित्यानंद महाजन, नादिया गुरु में नित्यानंद महाजन, नादिया गुरु में नित्यानंद महाजन, नादिया गुरु में नित्यानंद महाजन। In Nadia's Godruma, the great soul, Lord Nityananda, has opened a marketplace to sell the holy name to the conditioned souls. O faithful people, O faithful people, O my brothers, by the Lord's command, I ask this charity of you. Please chant Krishna, worship Krishna, and learn and teach about Krishna. Chant Krishna's name without offense. Accept Krishna as your mother, accept Krishna as your father, accept Krishna as your wealth and your life. Give up all sins. Make Krishna your whole world. Be merciful to all souls. Chant Krishna's names. That is the essence of all religion.
Thank you, Prabhu. I think I hope some of us remember that Niranjan Maharaj sang this song with us a few years ago. Beautiful song. Okay, so I think that concludes today's program. And Amit, where is my two leaders tonight? Are they ready for nursing a prayer?
Niranjan Maharaj sang that bhajan on January 13, 2017 in our puja room.
Okay, thank you for historical information. Okay,
Dad.
Very welcome.
okay. Amit is okay. He's ready. Okay, can you have the camera on at least, please? We want to see them too singing nicely.
Namaste Narasingaya. Namaste Narasingaya. Praladiladidaine. Praladiladidaine. Hiranyakashipurvaksha. Hiranyakashipurvaksha. Shilatankanakalai. Shilatankanakalai. Ito nasingo parito nasingo. Ito nasingo parito nasingo. Yato yato yami tato nasingo. Yato yato yami tato nasingo. Bae nasingo ridae nasingo. Bae nasingo ridae nasingo. Narasinga madhyam charana prapade. Narasinga madhyam Sharana prapade. Tava kare kamala pare. Nakamadbhuta shringa. Danita hiranyakashipu. Tanuvringa. Keshavadita narahari rupa. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Tava kare kamala pade. Nakamadbhuta shringa. Dalita hiranyakashipu. Tanuvringa. Keshavadita narahari rupa. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Nrsimha Dev. 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 Jaya Kala. Jaya Kala. Jaya Kala. Jaya Kala. Jaya Palan Maharaj. Jaya Palan Maharaj. Jaya Palan Maharaj. Jaya Palan Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Sing Bhagwan ki Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you as usual every day. Keep up good job. Ram Girdhari Prabhu, we did not sing Narottam Das Thakur, which is most favorite song of Srila Prabhupada. Hari Hari Bifule Janam Gamayu. Can we do it tomorrow?
Sure, Prabhuji.
Because the song we said, Golo Kvera Premadan Harinam Sankirtan Ratina Janmilo Kenotaya. So maybe we can sing tomorrow.
Sure.
And tomorrow Amit will continue the discussion on chapter 17, teaching of Kunti. So let's do the Vaishnava Pranam. Please unmute yourself and okay.
Pancha.
Vanchakalpatrupayacha Kripasindhubhayavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo.
Thanks, everyone. See you at 8 o'clock tomorrow.
8 o'clock tomorrow. Narottam Das Thakur ki jai.
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 Jai.